Rob. Welcome to Axel's Garage. We're out here working on Jeff today, and we're just doing a fun project with Jeff, which is some, and you've seen me use these before. These are the Nilight slim profile LED. They call it an LED light bar. They're not really bars, but they're down there. And they come with brackets that you can really tuck them up nice, a little short bracket. And they come with a long bracket if you want it to stand off more. Problem is, let me show you. Slide all my things I think I'm going to need. So, this bumper, there's a metal bumper behind the plastic bumper, but the metal bumper doesn't follow the contours of the plastic bumper, so this is all on an angle, and you could actually mount it to the plastic bumper. It's pretty rigid, but then it's on an angle and it looks silly. So what we're going to do is we're going to mount it to something metal that's level, but we don't want them to be too low, so we're going to have to use the longer brackets. It's, you know, you got to figure out your own mounting method. We are going to go into the bottom of the receiver hitch tube that runs across. This way we know we have a level. The light is going to be level. It might not look level compared to the gray plastic bumper wrap, but the light will be level. It'll be recessed back a little bit, which will keep it from being hit. And the lights, they're like $25 for the set, and they're really bright. These are going to be on a switch for when you're hanging out off the tailgate, hanging out behind the truck, maybe doing a little tailgating with the tailgate. And so we're going to have them off the switch. Ignition doesn't need to be on. Hit the switch, lights come on, you can hang out. And they'll just be just below the plastic wrap, which if you're driving a little bit like on a trail or off-road or something, and you hit some brush, the brush are going to hit the lights before they hook that bumper wrap and pull the bumper wrap off, because if you destroy that plastic bumper wrap, it's going to be hard to find and more money than a set of Nilight lights. So we'll put them as the sacrificial part. They're not going to really be too low at all. They're going to be tucked up nice and neat. Let me see if I'll hold one in the position of where we're going to put it. It's going to be like here, right? So it's going to be just below the plastic. It's going to be angled just a little bit out, so it's not, you know, directly behind the truck. It's a little bit so it casts some good light, and it's really not hanging too low, and it's not lower than the receiver tube itself. It's going to be about the same height, or maybe a half inch above the receiver tube height. So I think we'll be good there. But now how do we, so here's the light with the big brackets. All right, and then I originally wanted to try to get it up tight. I thought there was metal like under here, I don't know, you know, like this, but being on an angle like that looks silly. It looks like it's just a bad install. So these are the little brackets. I used these on a previous video when I put it on a flat steel bumper on Emily's Jeep Cherokee, and they tuck really nice up with these little brackets, but we're not going to be able to do that with these. So we got some stuff to do. So how are we going to get them mounted? Well, we have a rib nut set, or a nut cert set. So this is Astro Tools 1427. I'll link it in the description below. I got it in my Amazon store. We're going to put in these rib nuts or nut certs or whatever they are. They're like rivets, but they're threaded. And the hardware that comes with the the hardware that comes is actually an 8mm bolt, and these are 8mm rib nuts, or nut certs, or whatever you want to call them. We'll call them rib nuts for today. So this will screw onto here, and we'll go down there and show you, and then we'll put it in the hole that we're going to drill, and then this part will bulge out, and that'll hold it in place, and then we can take the nut, right? This will be in the receiver tube itself like that, and then the bolt will come up through the bracket, and that's how we'll attach the bracket for the lights up there. So we're going to go down, and we got to take one of these with us, and we're going to drill a hole. So I'm going to take this guy out here, and I'm going to use this one. I'm going to get a little lube, and we're going to put the first hole in, and then hopefully be able to line it up for the second hole. So the first bracket is going to go pretty much right here, so it's butt up against this part of the receiver. This way I have a good measurement for the other side, and I eyeballed it that it's in the middle of the tube, and I hit it with a little spring-loaded center punch. So that's my hole that I have to make that the rib nut's going to fit in. The shoulder, the knurled part of the rib nut, is plenty. If I line it up over here to the thickness of this tube, it's about an 1/8 inch or so. Could be an 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch, but I got plenty, so I know that the rib nut will work, and it's not really supporting a whole lot of weight. So I got it center punched. I put a little lube on my on the tip of my bit, and now we're going to see if we can drill through this. We'll see how hard it is. Not too bad. Harbor Freight rubber, it's pretty good. Alright, so now I'm in like that. Now you just want it big enough so that the rib nut slides in. You don't want it too big. Let me go to the next one. And ow! The little shards of metal are hot. Okay, so I can't get it in. So I'm gonna go one more. Oh!
Yeah, I'm getting peppered.
Oh! Oh! Alright, so now my rib nut slides in. Just big enough. Now I can grab my tool, and let me grab a rag. Oh, Jesus, that hurts. I hate drilling upside down. And now the rib nut tool, gotta open it up, which exposes more of the threads. And you get it. You slide it in the hole, and you gotta apply upward pressure and squeeze at the same time. And then you can screw it in a little bit more and get a little bit more squeeze in it, like that. And that bulged it just like a rivet. So if you now we can take our light, okay, so now I got my light loosely mounted with one bolt, and we can bring it around to mark the spot for this bracket here, and eyeball the middle of the tube. And get it where we want it, if I could see. Let's move the light. Okay. There's my little center punch mark. Get in there. And now we can take a little, put a little lube on it. All right, so I like to use, they don't give you enough in the kit here. So you gotta put the bolts in the side and the bolts up top, but they don't give you enough flat washers and split washers or lock washers. And I like to use a flat washer and a lock washer here and up here. That's gonna be 4 on each light, and they don't give you enough of them. So I had to go through my thing of things, my coffee can full of washers and lock washers and bolts and stuff, and I found some stuff. So I am putting a little thread locker on these, and I am just doing that so that they don't rattle loose. And it's just my own little comfort thing. So put that one on there. I could take this one off and put the washers and thread locker on it.
You're welcome. Can I use your garden hose tomorrow morning?
$5 an hour.
Oh, okay.
You know, you can use the hose whenever you want. You don't have to be an ass.
No, I just want to make sure you didn't want to.
That's why we put the hose on your side, remember?
No, not really. But anyway, my spigot is leaking, so I shut the...
That's why we put the hose on your side.
Okay.
Because you didn't have a spigot on that side.
That's right. I thought it would just be polite to ask. Okay? That's how I was brought up.
Okay, so there we have it. Just a little snug. You know, I'm just using a little tiny stubby, and that's the way it's going to mount. That ain't going nowhere. Nice and rigid, and we'll see what it looks like from behind, and then we could do the mirror image of this on the other side. All right, so it tucks under nice. It angles just a little bit, which is what we wanted. Now we can put the light on the other side, get them wired up, and show you what they look like. Hey, it's Rob from the future. I'm editing the video that you're watching right now, and I realized I never shot an ending. So I never gave you an ending on what it looked like, so I'm walking out to old Jeff the Avalanche to show you how the lights look under the back of the truck. So that's how the lights are. They're kind of tucked up nice and neat. They are not the lowest point, thank goodness. It looks like the receiver hitch is going to be the lowest point. And then, you know, the rear end and stuff is really the lowest, but it worked out perfect. We wound up buying a nice wire harness for it, 14 gauge wire with you know, 2 wires in it, a hot and a negative, and it's in a nice plastic insulation, so it's 2 insulated wires within an insulation. We ran that from the front all the way to the, from the rear all the way to the front, and we mounted the relays. I'll show you under the hood. Mounted the relays for both of the lights in the back. So if you remember on a separate video, we installed this light here, right in his grill, and we put that one on a relay, and we put those lights that we put in the back on a relay, and we have the relays mounted right here. You can see one's mounted there, right off of this, whatever this computer module is, but the mounting screw for the computer module, we have one relay there, and then we have a different style fused relay there. Why we did one over the other, I don't remember, but we did. I don't remember which relay is which anymore either. But we brought all our power wires up here, nice and neat with a relay. We put a switch panel from Nilight, and there's our switch panel. And these switches are wired hot all the time. The lights do stay on. You can see the green LED in the switches, so they stay on. It's not enough draw to kill the battery, even sitting for a week. We have left this sitting for up to a week, and it doesn't kill the battery. There's like minimal draw on that. He's still drawing very little. We took the cubby out. We put a plastic, sort of like radio installations, plastic on the cubby, and then we screwed this into that plastic. Came out really nice and neat. The switches will light up on top when the light is on. I don't know if that's coming up. Let me turn the interior lights off and maybe it'll come up a little bit better. So here with the interior lights off, you can see how the top part of the light lights up when the light is on. Pretty nice little setup there. And now I will wait for it to get a little darker. It's still light out, but when it gets a little darker, I'll show you what they look like at night. So now that it's dark, I can show you exactly how everything looks. So inside the car, you could see the switches. They do light up, but it's not an annoying light. It's not in your face. It's a very dim, soft green. And when you turn it on, you get the upper. So let's go behind the truck and see what it looks like. So here's the back of the truck. I do have a little light coming from the neighbor's house there, but you can get a feel for how dark it is behind the truck. Does look like the driver's side is a little higher than the passenger side, and if I stand in the middle looking back, you could see that the driver's side looks to be up higher off the pavement than the passenger side. But the best part of this is when you got them all on. That's pretty neat. So those are the Nilight pods in the corners of the bumpers, the Nilight lights under the bumpers, and then some good LED bulbs in the reverse light housings. And it's pretty much daylight behind the vehicle. So I think just a little minor adjustment with one of the lights, just putting them down just a hair, putting that driver's side one down, and they'll be lined up perfectly. Hope you enjoyed the video. I think the lights are looking really good, and Steve-O's gonna enjoy it. I'll link everything we used and everything we used previously to do the whole back of this vehicle in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.